Oh yeah, your hat, dude. Awesome, man.
This was a gift from my guitar player, Todd Grubbs.
Oh, that's from Todd?
Todd gave me that for my
I didn't know
birthday.
that.
I was like, dude, cool hat.
We'll give everybody a minute or two to come on here. So I've got the great Doug Lee with me here from the metal band Siren. So, dude, so glad to have you on.
Howdy, howdy.
Let's take a sip of our beer, man.
Great to be here.
Cheers. Man.
Cheers, my brothers.
Cheers,
it's been
guys.
a long time. How you been? I know you've been busy.
It's been a while, man. It's been a while. So let me know if you guys can hear me okay, hear us okay. Okay, yeah, Candy's on. We've got some new microphones.
Candy's on?
Yeah, she's right there. See, Candy Moreland right there. I figured she would go under
Candy.
the Candy and Jason channel, but she went under her own. Okay. Oh, what's up, guys? Whiskey Mike is on. The
Whiskey
Shadow
Mike.
Wolf. Gifted Lemon, love that name. Listian Cove. I suck at pronouncing stuff. Guys, thank you so much for joining us.
Greetings.
Again, I've got Doug Lee from the metal band Siren. We're going to talk about you guys' latest album here coming up, man. But thank you guys for joining. By the way, guys, smash the like button. I mean, even if you don't like the video yet, just go ahead and smash it anyway. But so for those who do not know who the Doug Lee is, well, he's the lead singer for the metal band Siren. And that's the new vinyl just came out, dude.
Just broke American soil.
Yeah. Just broke American soil, man. So
It's not a whole lot of those out there, I don't think, yet.
here's the crazy thing about you guys though, about Siren is like, and some of you listening know the story, so we'll tell the short version of it.
Can't believe we're live!
We are live. But dude, you guys go way back to the 80s, man. I mean, you guys started in what, like, I don't know, early 80s or something like that.
Early 80s, yes, sir.
Yeah. And then you played and you were going after that deal. You guys had some momentum going. Never quite broke through, so you disband around, what, 89, something like that? 90-ish?
89, 90-ish, something like that.
Right before the grunge scene just came and
Blew up everything.
Yeah. And then you went off to tour with Mekong Delta, right?
That was fun.
Who knows who Mekong Delta is? Some of you guys may have heard them. They're a German progressive metal band from back in the day. We've got one of their vinyls here, right?
I just picked up. This was actually the last and final Mekong album that I was on. I wanted to say this from 93 or 94.
Man.
This is actually a re-release.
There's Doug Lee vocals.
The original production I don't think was available on vinyl, so this is a new product that the final, or the new wave of people that love vinyl.
Yeah.
So now everything's on vinyl.
Everything's out there. Can you still buy that, dude, or you had to find that? Like,
I bought that at my friend Josh's collectible store.
so, because Candy was asking if you can buy that. I mean, you can buy it.
I mean, I'm sure you can order it online and
okay.
take your chances. You know, I don't know
Yeah.
who's selling it, but I mean, this one might be a little bit easier to find because it is a fairly recent re-release. And there's only 4 vocal songs on this album, but
Yeah,
it's actually one of my favorites.
They went instrumental after you. You didn't really leave the band, but they just decided to kind of go a more instrumental route after that
I
album.
thought they were just going to go instrumental for forever after that. Then I guess they eventually decided it was cheaper to have a vocalist that was in Germany instead of a vocalist that was in the States, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, that created its own set of complications with them, you know, wanting to throw material to me before it was done because I was over here, and it made rehearsing stuff complicated. So I did a lot of rehearsing in the studio while the tape was rolling. But you know, I mean, I get a little pre-production ahead of time, something I could work with. So
that was pretty
it
challenging.
wasn't bad. It was the most challenging vocal position I've actually ever been in.
Well, because Mekong Delta wasn't the typical like simple timings, right? They had some odd time signatures and that sort of thing.
The only band that I've ever been in that I had to count where I was. If I didn't count where I was in the song, I'd be lost.
Man.
And I had to remember weird little snippet things to that, you know, to remember where I was in the song, or else I'd be lost.
That's crazy, dude. I could imagine that.
I had little catchy things that were catchy to me that to remember and locate where I had to be and time myself, because they were real critical about timing. Because Mekong was all about timing and, and the speed and the thrash and all that. So, and a lot of it was taken from classical style arrangements. So
yeah, that's what it sounded like.
lots of dynamics, lots of timing things.
But then after that, were you involved in anything musically after Mekong Delta? That was probably what, mid '90s somewhere. Oh, that was '93, right? So somewhere.
93, 94. I did one more tour with them, and I want to say in '93. This might have come out in '94. I mean, I can't read this tiny little print on here, if it's even on there, but I want to say the last time I toured with them was in '93, and then I think that album came out in '94. I don't think we toured to promote that album.
So after that, I mean, you're probably doing some different things or whatever, but were you involved in any major bands after that?
No, just little things here and there. I was always trying behind the scenes to get Siren going again.
Right.
I was always going, and I know so and so, and and get people together, and it'd be like, no, this isn't working. And then, I did that for a long time, a lot of years. I actually had one good version of Siren together, and then through different circumstances beyond my control, we were actually booked to do Keep It True.
Dude.
Before we went and played, when we played in 2018. Wow. I want to say it was in 2011 we were going to go play Keep It True, but my band just fell apart and, due to things beyond my control, so that didn't happen. I was really, at one time, the guy that was playing drums with me that I actually worked with, a guy named, we call him Skell, his name, because he looked like Skeletor.
Skeletor from He-Man, dude.
Dave Lawrence. Hey, Dave. Me and him were actually considered going just as a drummer and a guitar player and doing the Siren stuff.
Man, wow.
But then, we decided that was just ridiculous. So
yeah, you at least a bass player in there or something like that.
The bass player we had at that time, he disappeared.
Dude.
I still don't know what happened to him. And the guitar player had some complications, so it was really a shame. But I was just glad that Oliver and the Keep It True bunch decided to have us back. But we made a movie about it. It was a good time.
That's right. So real quick, how many of you have had band problems? Like you think this is going somewhere and it just falls apart? Let us know in the comments below. I want to hear about it. But then, lo and behold, dude, you guys came back. I think, what was it? Someone reached out to your drummer, Ed Bourne, which is also a good friend of mine. You guys have seen him on the channel before. Actually, I had you and Ed both. We were in Todd's studio, but somebody reached out to him on Facebook. Hey, aren't you the drummer for the metal band Siren? And then everything just like magically came together at that point.
I'm not sure what fans, but it was quite a number of people from what I understand.
I think it was German fans and then people from all over the world, right?
Somewhere in that bunch of people, there was Frank.
Frank Headbanger.
Frank Headbanger, who is actually our label guy. So
cheers, Frank, if you're listening, dude, if you happen to see this.
We love it, Frank.
Yeah, that's the latest album. So by the way, guys, A Mercenary's Fate. Yeah, that's the name of it. Hold this up real quick, Doug. I wanted them to see this. This is the latest album, A Mercenary's Fate. Now it's on.
Sorry for the glare.
There a little glare there, probably off my head.
We're going to open it up here in a minute because this one
We're going to wait till folks come on.
This is a blue vinyl.
Yep.
Actually, as far as I know, there aren't any black vinyl yet. There was some kind of problem with the black vinyl. So I think there's blue and maybe a pink or purple.
Yeah.
But so far, I've only seen the blue, and it's a pretty blue. It's not the same blue as the Siren the Financial Suicide re-release.
Yeah. Totally
different. Totally cool.
But that's a nice album cover. I love that, dude.
Yeah, that was a lot of mostly Ed with the album cover.
Yeah.
And obviously Frank and everybody have done, and you too, Holger, done a lot of work to get this thing out there.
It's a great album, dude.
It's a really nice look, and I like the colors. It's different from anything we've ever done. With this, the logo is in kind of red neon, so it's definitely different.
But you guys didn't actually come back with this album. You actually came back with an album called Back from the Dead. I mean, long story short, people discovered Siren. They're still out there. Let's put them back together. And then you guys went to Keep It True in 2018 to Germany to play the Keep It True festival. You recorded the album. You made the album Back from the Dead. I don't know which came first there.
No, that we actually had an anthology, a three record set that came out right when we hit Keep It True, called Up from the Depths, and that was kind of like our big reunion thing. It was a lot of our.
Is that what I have back there? Is that Up from the Depths? I got a poster back there. I
Yeah,
don't know if
that's
you guys
a picture of it.
Yeah.
Up from the Depths.
Sorry you guys can't see it too well, but you see it in all my videos because I've had that poster up there for like, at least 2 years now.
You know, it's the submarine theme.
Yeah.
The same guy. Although in this one he's got the S-blade laying down on the ground. They're getting ready to take him out execution style. But,
oh, yeah.
But that's not the end for him.
That was a great album. I love that album. So we had asked if anybody had any band stories here. So T. Cross says he opened for Pantera at Whiskey on Cowboys from Hell.
Wow.
Got a manager, made a demo, poof, it was over. The band was Dream Taker. Wow, dude. So it just, man.
But dude, that sounds like quite an experience, though.
It is an experience, yeah.
That's amazing.
Very cool experience, T. Cross. And, you know, I'm glad you, and I'm sorry things didn't work out, but I'm glad you have the story to tell.
I'd love to hear your band. I love Pantera.
Yeah. Do not give up, though, T. Cross. I don't know where you're at, but do not give up on the dream, man, because, you know, I mean, I'm 40. I'm not 48 yet. I'll be 48 in about a week or two. Actually, I'm stuck at math. In 9 days, I'll be 48 years old on May 19th. I'm a full-time musician. I'm not some big star or whatever. You guys know that. But I only say that to say do not give up on your dream. You know, you can, if you want to do something, you'll find a way to do it. If you want it bad enough, right? So, but anyway, dude, you guys, I mean, Siren is a thing now. Siren is out there. You guys are doing it. You've got some solo stuff coming up as well.
Don't give up on your dreams.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't give up on your dreams.
Like, I know you personally, and maybe we'll get into in depth into that sometime in my YouTube channel, but you had a whole different life, a whole different career, and you decided that music was your life and music was your career, you know?
That was it.
And I know it was hard to put that away and go for your dreams, but sometimes you just got to go for it.
It was. I mean,
it's like Greg says in the movie. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, yeah.
If it's in you, it's in you.
You're right. It's in your blood, man.
You can't push it down.
So
it's in there.
What he's referring to, what Doug's referring to, with Greg saying that, is in the documentary. The documentary is called "I'm Too Old for This Shit," and it's phenomenal, dude. It's the story of basically Siren just really like being like raised from the dead, and all these like that documentary was financed, if I'm not mistaken, by Chris Jericho
and produced
by Chris Jericho. You guys know lead singer of Fozzy. You may know Chris Jericho more so from wrestling, or Fozzy, but he produced that.
That was his first film endeavor. So I'm thinking that there's, I mean, obviously he's done videos and stuff.
Yeah.
As far as a full-length film-style documentary, and that was his sticking his feet in the water. I think there's going to be more things coming from
There'll be more stuff, dude. And that was such a cool day. That's on YouTube, by the way. I mean, you can watch it on Apple and wherever they have.
You can watch it on everything.
Yeah,
it's out there.
But you can go to YouTube and watch it. Just look up "I'm Too Old for This Shit." You'll see Doug out there, and you'll see, you'll see the whole band. I've watched it literally, I think, at least 4 times because I've watched it with other people. I'm like, hey, you got to see this. Let's check this out. But it's cool, man.
It's always fun. I mean, a lot of people can identify with it. I mean, it's that age-old story, you know.
Yeah.
This close.
Here we are. You guys are so close. Poof, didn't make it, and then 30 freaking years later, like, here you are. You're doing it. What are we drinking, by the way?
It's like waking up into a different, and not that. Sam Adams isn't my favorite brewery by any means, but this is actually not a bad Sam Adams beer.
Yeah. Cold
something
snap.
That's more of a seasonal, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's probably something they just had left over from the season that's still there.
Yeah.
But it's not a bad Sam Adams beer.
No, it's not bad. I mean, we got another really interesting coming up after
we got a lot of interesting things
We're
coming up.
splitting these so we can both taste them. So, Metal and Beer, guys, part of the show here. So let's see.
And cheer. Metal and beer and good cheer.
Toss, you said you're 59. You're in Ohio now. One of my good close friends lives up in Ohio, in Toledo, man. Tom Sherman. I don't know if Tom's on tonight.
A lot of good people up there.
Shadow Wolf, 44 here. Got a master guitar first, then try to put a band together. Yeah, I mean, absolutely do it. It's never too late until it's too late. I know that kind of sounds crazy, but it's only too late if you say it is, right? I mean, if you say it's too late, then you're not going to put forth the effort to really make it happen. I mean, and I get it. Not everybody wants to be in a band and tour the world. Not everybody wants to be a full-time musician. Some of you watching, you might just play guitar to blow off steam, and that's okay. That's absolutely okay. But I'd say apply that concept to anything in life. Maybe you're working for the man, or you're in corporate America like I used to be, but maybe you want to start your own business or do something on your own or just do something else. Hey, do it. What do you got to lose? Nothing, right?
Don't listen to the naysayers.
No.
There's always going to be somebody that's going to try to steal your dreams. Don't let them. Just because they couldn't do it, or they didn't do it, or they don't think you can do it, or whatever their problem is.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's not about them. It's about you and what you believe in. You do it. Don't let anybody tell you different. It's like Hal says in the movie.
Yeah.
Like I'm quoting everybody else's.
Yeah, you're quoting everybody else, not Doug. You're quoting everybody else.
Hal's like, I knew that this wasn't going to happen. It wasn't going to happen, but somehow I knew it was going to happen, and then it happened. So I mean, that's the way it works.
So we've got some more cool vinyl down there, dude. Like we've got the Siren vinyl that's out there, the Mercenary's Fate. You showed the Mekong Delta. You got some other cool stuff. Do you guys listen to vinyl at all? Because I'm toying around with the idea of putting my next album on vinyl as well, and I'm just not sure, is it really worth it? I don't want to purchase a bunch of vinyl and only 2 people buy it,
Like I said, my friend Josh has a collectibles store here in town, and he sells collectibles and vinyl. Just don't know how many people have heard of Living Death, but I played with this guy, Frank Fricka, the guitar player. And see, that's him right there. He's disappeared.
Let's hold this cover up. I want these guys to see this.
This is a special, like some kind of a weird red colored version, red vinyl of this Living Death album.
Living Death. I never heard of them before, dude.
They're a great German band. They did a lot of albums, and actually, like I said, Fred, when I joined Mekong Delta, everybody's identity was a secret. And then I joined, and then because everybody had other record label deals.
Oh, yeah,
so
that's right.
I can't remember what Fred's name was in Mekong Delta.
Kind of like that band Ghost. Didn't they hide their identity? I don't know much about them, but I heard they kind of wore the mask and hid their identity.
But Frank, some people call him Frank. I call him Fred. Where are you, Fred?
Fred, where you at?
I got a lot of people looking for you.
VR says he stopped playing guitar for 35 years. It was average at best, but you picked it back up about 2 months ago and having fun. VR, that's so awesome to hear.
How does it feel?
Yeah, let us know how that feels. And I'd like to know what got you back into guitar. If you
that too.
What was that thing that, like, did you see something? Hey, did you watch one of my videos that pop up? It's like, hey, I'm going to pick it back up again.
What inspired you, brother?
Yeah, we'd love to know, because your story can really help other people be inspired, like today watching this. All right, so Klaus, similar to me, he picked up guitar about 4 years ago after 20 some odd years of not playing, and now you're better now than you ever was. I think there's a lot of great things that come with aging.
That's inspirational in itself.
Now
really you're better than you ever were. That speaks for itself.
But I think sometimes certain things we can learn better only because we're like, okay, you know what? Maybe you weren't as serious when you were younger, but now this is what I want to do. I'm going to focus now. So, and I think being older, and I don't think that I'm afraid of death, not the metal band Death, but death. But you start thinking like, well, I don't have as much time left. I don't. I mean, I'm going to be 48, in a few days, and I don't have as much time left as I did when I was 20, right? So I realized that, so I'm like, well, damn, I better get to work. I better put some stuff out there. I better make sure that
I'm making it count.
Yeah, living my best life, man. So VR says fingers don't work like they used to. You know, dude, I think that's okay, and maybe there's some exercises that you can do and that sort of thing. But I think it's okay because you're enjoying what you're doing and you're creating what you can create right now, and I think that's super important, right?
It'll come with time, you know. I mean, when you first started playing guitar, did your fingers work? You know, then. I mean,
True.
It comes with time. I mean, playing the guitar is like the voice. You gotta work it out all the time.
Yeah, you do.
You know, you gotta keep at it. It's a continual process.
VR's a metalhead from the 80s. Time Prophet, what's up, dude? Thanks for coming on. Time Prophet is a long-time follower here.
What up?
Time Prophet, I didn't know you're 54, man. He's got me beat on the years. Hey, I'm catching up to you, actually, but when I catch up, you'll have gone, further. So I get it. That doesn't quite work. Oh, man. So, T-Cross, Jason, your video definitely inspired me and helped me to relearn so much. Dude, I really appreciate that. That's that lets me know that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, man. If I can give you guys encouragement and inspiration to do your best and put your stuff out there, I've done my job. So I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
There's a lot of different stuff and a lot of different ways you can inspire people, you know. I mean,
there is, yeah.
I find a new video that it's not a new video, but it's new to me.
Yeah.
Something you put out years ago that inspires me, like at least on a weekly basis.
It's good to know, dude.
Like, yeah, that's 7-string video. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I'm getting rid of my 7-string soon.
He keeps telling me that. He keeps telling me he's getting rid of his 7-string.
I am waiting, man. So
He won't.
I mean,
listen.
I can sort of talk about this. I'm looking for a potential sponsorship, and I can't say who right now, but if I get that, and I'm pretty sure it's going to come through this week, because I had...
Doesn't mean you got to get rid of that 12-string.
Well, no, but I had
7-string, 12-string.
I had 12-string, 750-string. I had told them that part of the deal would be to make a video with their product with a 7-strings. I thought that'd be interesting. So we love that idea. So
I like that idea too.
Crap, no, I can't get rid of my 7-string quite yet. So we'll see how that goes.
Well, good luck, brother.
Let's see. Klaus said, used to have a defeatist attitude. I thought I'd never be as good as my idols, so I never tried. I thought they were born with it. Now I know different. Dude.
They work hard at it just like you do, brother.
Yeah. I think that some people are born with natural gifts and talents, or you gravitate towards certain things. And I think when you find what that is, even at a young age, you should go all in. And I wish I could be like Cher if I could turn back time. I would have, bad pun, I would have went all in, back then, more so than I did. I mean, I was in bands and all that, but I never just like, yeah, we're going to sing it now, dude. I was waiting for you to.
No.
No? Okay, we're not going to do that?
That's all I got.
All right, part 2 of Klaus is, greatness is a result of hard work. It is, dude. I think people have some natural tendencies to be better at certain things than others. Like, I'm probably never going to be a pro basketball player. I don't really care, but I'm not 6'8" or whatever. I've actually shrunk. I used to be 5'11". Now I'm 5'9.5", 5'10". Anyway, but I think you just got to find what you love to do. And if you love it, you're going to put the work in, like Klaus says, and you're gonna do what it takes to get better at that. So
Time Prophet, not Limmy's hat from Motorhead.
Time Prophet.
Actually, I got this hat from my guitar player Todd Grubbs for my birthday. It was actually Todd Grubbs' hat. And it's kind of heavy. It's kind of hot. So now I know why he gave it to me.
Heavy metal, dude.
It's heavy.
I think I've seen Todd wear that hat before.
Yeah, I want to say he might have wore it in a video that we did.
I think so,
maybe,
man.
Or maybe he wore it when we played it at Jericho Fest.
Time Prophet says he's learning Painkiller. Painkiller is my hands-down favorite Priest album ever.
Man.
I heard that for the first time on Headbangers Ball. This is our era, Doug. Back when MTV played.
When MTV played music.
That era, yeah.
Why would you call your station MTV and not play music?
Yeah, like music television. Did they change the music to something else, like Moron Television?
M doesn't mean music anymore.
Oh
It means
man,
movies, I guess now. I don't
that
know.
was.
What the hell?
I don't want to reminisce in the past, but we can do it a little bit. That was such an era that just will never be forgotten.
Yeah, what a great idea. A station that plays music on the TV.
And then VH1 Classic came out, and they did a good job at kind of
Are
doing.
they still holding the torch? Do they even have music anymore?
I don't know, dude. I don't know. Everything is on YouTube now, so people can just go watch whatever they want. But you know, it was just cool.
People still watch broadcast television. Don't mean you can't have music.
Shadow says, Jason found one of your videos just after you bought your first guitar and amp last year. Been an avid follower. Dude, thank you so much, Shadow. Appreciate it, man. So that's awesome, man. That's awesome that you picked it up. So, dude, just go with it. I'll keep cranking out content for you, man. Man, that's great. Klaus says, his is Defenders of Faith. Love that album. Free Will Burning.
That's a great one, too. That's a great song, too. I love that song. I don't know. Maybe people know or don't know. I've always been a huge Priest fan myself.
Yeah. And, dude, I got to give you, I'm going to crack this open, by the way.
Actually, when we were a cover band, when Siren played covers
That's right.
in the early 80s.
Way back, yeah.
At one point in time, we had 17 Priest songs in our song list.
That's crazy.
I say, we got to trim some of these songs out. But it's like, which one do we cut?
Man.
I love all these songs. I mean, we didn't play them all every night, but...
Yeah. So History Noble, he's been working on a lot for the past year. Just make these anime AI the hardest modern troops ever. It's working. They've only lost once in the... I didn't understand that. I'm sorry. But hey, keep doing what you're doing. Time Prophet, tell us more about Doug Lee's band. Yes, dude. So... Time Prophet has not heard of Siren. Well, we got to make this right. We got to tell Time Prophet and everyone about Siren, dude. So, my story of Siren, well, it's your story. It's not really mine, but like when I hear Siren, I think of, I don't want to say 80s metal, but I think of that style of just classic melodic heavy metal that doesn't sound outdated. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of our niche, I think.
It's a classic, but there's, I don't want to say there's a modern twist to it, because I don't believe that's accurate, but it just, I don't know. And guys, I wish we could play some Siren for you. We can't because it's copyrighted, you know.
And then the classification that they put us under a lot of times is the new wave of traditional heavy metal.
Yeah,
which
right.
is kind of like we've evolved
Yeah.
through time. We're not still playing 80s style metal, but we're still it still has that feel. But
it's got the feel.
It's progressed and grown over time too.
Yeah. But you know, Time Prophet, you were asking about Siren. So I mean, they started in the '80s, didn't quite break into the scene like they wanted to, so it kind of fell apart. 30 years later, people started finding them online, saying, "Hey, you guys are the people in Siren." They didn't know they had a fan base still in Germany and all over the world, especially the other countries. I mean, I guess you had some U.S. fans too, but
we got 150,000 views on the movie.
Yeah, but
since
I mean,
it went on YouTube, and that's all U.S.
That's
so
all U.S. Wow,
no,
so you got them now. Yeah, you probably gained a lot now.
I don't even think it's not even. It just maybe now became available in Germany, but. If they keep it true, I think they released some versions of that.
Oh, you just listened to a few seconds of a song called Science Fiction Movie. Sounds like Alice Cooper. Listen to, and that's a great, but listen to their latest album. And I know everybody says this about their latest album, well, the latest is the best, but guys,
this is the new one.
Yeah, A Mercenary's Fate. Let me hold this up so they can see it. A Mercenary's Fate. If you see us looking down, we've got a laptop down here.
We're looking at your
questions.
questions.
We're looking at your questions, man.
Feedback.
So, that's the album right there. Look up now. There's some other bands called Siren. Don't
tilt
listen.
It back. There you go. You lost the shadow there, or the glare.
Yeah, don't listen to the other bands called Siren because they're fake. They're not fake. They're just, you know, it's kind of a common name. But look up Siren, A Mercenary's Fate, and you guys will find this album.
I can't remember how many. There actually is quite a lot of bands called Siren that I've noticed over time.
Yeah. Does Siren ever go to Britain? You guys ever go to Britain?
We haven't, and traditionally in the past, we haven't always gotten favorable reviews from Britain. But on this new album, we have actually got some really nice reviews from some magazines and publications in the UK. So it's not like we're just making it up.
Are you breaking that open, dude?
Yeah, I am. Aren't we going to unwrap it on TV?
As you're unwrapping, I'm going to unwrap our beer, our next beer.
That sounds good. That's kind of a weird one, so hopefully it's...
Yeah, by the way, while Doug's unwrapping this, we are... Oh, Seventh Sun Brewing. I love Seventh Sun. We're drinking... sorry, I got to read this first, guys. Black Hole Sun.
Black Hole Sun.
Like the song. That's what we're drinking now. Black Hole Sun. So this is a local brewery. You guys know I love craft beer, but I like to support local breweries the most that I can. Woo. That's a weird color, dude.
It is. It's kind of pinkish, cloudy.
Like a grapefruit almost. You know?
There's a lot of flavors going on in there. I don't know what you'll think of it.
Well,
it's kind of a rush of it's a lot.
We'll have to wash it down with another.
It's very busy, as might be a good way to describe it as flavorings go.
Again, Black Hole Sun by Seventh Sun Brewing. They are a local brewery out of Tampa Bay here. I've got an old beer can of another Seventh Sun beer. This is called the Headbanger IPA. Ooh. It's a really good beer. I just kept it up here because, Headbanger, we're doing metal, so it makes sense, right? All right, so let's see what questions we have. Time Pro says, okay, heard a bit of Siren guitar, and it has a Priest vibe to it. Yeah, I think a lot, like if you, and I really...
I mean, those guys are definitely some of our across the band influences.
When people hear you sing,
we do like Priest.
What do people compare you to, Doug? I've heard people say Ozzy. I've heard people say maybe Merciful Fate, I believe, or Fate's one of those bands.
I've heard Alice Cooper.
Alice Cooper, yeah.
I've even heard Geddy Lee.
I don't think you sound like Alice Cooper because Alice Cooper.
I don't think so either, but I have heard that. I've been compared to a lot of. I don't think I sound like anybody, so maybe everybody.
I don't think so either. Yeah.
A little bit of what they,
They're trying to compare you to someone, just to like, okay.
It's human nature for your ear to gravitate towards something familiar. So
right.
You try to tie it to something that is familiar. So I don't know.
T Cross is drinking Fear of the Dark Iron Maiden beer.
Ooh,
I do love
awesome.
some Maiden, man. He's great. Maiden is great. Edward says, started playing 2 years ago. Eddie Van Halen died, and it was like death of Superman in my generation. It was, dude. When Eddie passed, he was just, I don't know.
What type of beer is that, Fear of the Dark? Is that a lager? What is that?
I think it's a lager. Yeah, let us know, man, if T-Cross, if it's a lager. I can't remember what type it is. I've had it before. They had two beers. There's one that's hard to find. There's one that's kind of common. And I think they went with the same brewery that Megadeth, Dave Mustaine, released his Tout Le Monde beer. Huck says...
I had that. I've had that before. That's not bad.
I think you had it here at my house.
It's very possible.
Huck says, huge fan and awesome band. I'm graduating from high school in a week and play guitar and sing with my band. I want to know if you had any tips for me to help me grow. So, as a lead singer, what would you give Huck? Huck is just out of high school. He's graduating from high school. He's in a band. If you could take yourself back to high school, but maybe in the modern era, what would you tell yourself? What would you tell Huck here?
I know that's hard to say because I mean it's an evolving type of thing. I don't know. It depends on if you want to play in a cover band, if you want to play an original band. Just remember, if you want to play originals and be original, it's a lot harder road. You know what I mean? Just be yourself. Try to find your voice.
Yeah.
As a guitar player. Just be yourself. Don't listen to the naysayers. Because everybody's gonna say, "Oh no, you can't do it. You're wasting your time. You'll never do anything with that." Don't listen to it.
I think that's the best advice is just be yourself. Don't try to sound like anyone else. Just work hard at what you do.
And it's not easy.
No, it's not. And don't expect it to be, but work hard. Allow yourself room to grow. Like, don't be hard on yourself if you don't get it right, the first time or second time or whatever. Just give yourself room and give yourself permission to grow, right? To grow into yourself. You will evolve too as a musician, as a singer, as a guitar player. And And the one thing I can say, Doug, is just enjoy the journey, man. Enjoy the process. Because if you don't love the process of doing something, you're going to get burnt out at some point. But if you love the process, I don't think you ever will have anything that can defeat you, because you just love the journey, right? And we got a similar question here too, by Edward. How do you find players in the Brandon area? Oh, Edward's in Brandon here. I want to play every day, and the guys who I play with only want to play 2 hours a week. That's tough, man.
I want to grab that and say something, but I'm going to hold back on that one. But
yeah,
I don't know. Back years ago when we needed in the early '80s, we needed a drummer, and we ran an ad in the music magazine. I mean, things were different then. It wasn't so much internet; it was more actual paper-based magazines and things like that. And we ran an ad, and I had like 100-point questionnaire that I asked people, and I still had drummers that came and they didn't have their drums, and they didn't, you know what I mean? It's hard to find people.
Yeah.
You just gotta figure out a process and what you want in a player, and just go through and eliminate the ones that won't work.
They're out there, right? I mean, I think the people are out there. You have to know what you want.
Best way to find somebody, though, it's hard.
Yeah, I mean, even with the internet. But I think you just don't settle. You know, and I would say for you, establish that you are the band leader, right? And you call the shots. I think you have to establish that. And if people aren't working out, well, you have to go get the next person, and that might even cost you some friendships. I hate to say that, but if you're very serious about this, then you have to know that people are on the same page and want to go somewhere with this. So I totally get that.
Go out and support your local bands. I mean, I don't know what genre of music. Is it a metal? I don't know if he's a metal player or what kind of band he's in, but go out and support local music. I mean, and there's, people that go out and support metal bands. There's a lot of them are musicians. I mean, that might be a good way to meet people, or go to bands that you like in concerts and maybe meet people at events like that. I mean, there's lots of ways.
So Benser says, are you all fans of Paul Beloff from Exodus? I love some Exodus, man.
Oh, absolutely.
So English Stout. So T. Cross confirmed that the Iron Maiden beer is an English Stout.
Ooh, nice. That's better than a lager.
Bill Grant says, this is an awesome guest. Thank you. And someone had asked, what's Doug's role in the band? Doug is the lead singer.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be here with you guys and Jason.
So real quick, for those just coming on, Doug Lee here, a good friend of mine. He is the lead vocalist for the metal band Siren. They just released their brand new album called A Mercenary's Fate. Hold it up here, dude. I want them to see this. You can find it on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you listen to music. Of course, they got the vinyl as well.
It just crossed into American soil within the last 24 hours, and there was some kind of a problem with the black vinyl, so we didn't get any black vinyl.
Oh, Bill's listening too.
But I'm not complaining about the black vinyl because everything comes in black vinyl. This actually came in transparent blue vinyl.
I like this. That's pretty cool.
And I do like the little inset, the stamp there in the middle.
Yes, Blade.
It's got Frank, the record labels, FHM record logo, and our logo, and the giant S blade in neon. Kind of a good look. I think there's some other colors and black. I don't know when those will come, but I'm just happy to have this one.
Yeah.
The CD came out, I believe, in the end of October or November. The disc was released, but these have they're hot off the press.
Yeah.
Smells like fresh vinyl.
Time Prophet says he's written original songs, but they start out as rock and then they end up as folk songs. Dude, that might just be and you and I have talked about this.
I mean, I like folk songs.
It might be what you naturally gravitate towards.
I grew up in that era. I like 60s and 70s folk music.
Somebody mentioned
Americana.
Wasp here. Wasp has got some cool stuff.
Good stuff.
Whiskey Mike says, singing lessons, work on vocal range, tremolo, and harmony. Yeah, all those things are good to work on. I think more.
Those are all important things.
I think just as much as important, though, I think is embracing yourself as a singer and not trying to sing like someone else. I think that's a big thing, guys. People like I have a limited range, and yeah, I can work on my vocal range, but I'm probably going to go so far with that. So at some point, I've got to accept that this is my range. So instead of trying to strain and do all this other stuff that this may be out of reach, why don't you just focus on where you're at and how can you make that unique?
And what's comfortable for you.
Yeah, what's comfortable.
Be in a comfortable space.
Yeah, because I mean, I play, you guys know I play live acoustic shows, and these are 3 and 4 hour gigs, sometimes more. If you're trying to strain and just sing high so everybody can say, hey, well, he's got a good range, you will blow out your voice in that amount of time. So you don't really want to do that.
Get yourself a routine.
Yeah.
The voice, the instrument, it's a muscle. It's just like working out. I know everybody knows Jason works out, but you got to work out your voice just like it were a muscle.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, even if you're not playing gigs week in and week out, it's good to have a routine.
Yeah, it's good to have a routine. But Whiskey Mike, all those things are important that you're talking about. All the things, thank you for pointing that out. Time Prophet, yes, Doug is in Florida here with me. Florida. Bill Grant says Siren sounds great. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So
cheers.
Bill asks who writes the music. I mean, I think Todd did a lot of the work. Let's taste this, by the way, dude.
Wow, I taste like pepper.
It smells weird, dude.
Like not habanero, but some kind of pepper in there. That's weird.
That tastes like chicken wings.
Man, there's a lot of different flavors going on in that.
I'm tasting chicken wings with that.
That one even tastes different than the one I had the other day.
Real quick, guys, we are drinking Black Hole Sun by Seventh Sun Brewing.
Maybe that is the pepper thing that I taste
buffalo
like a
wings.
Buffalo wing. That's interesting because that's not anything what it says on the label. I don't think it tastes anything like what it says.
But it did, Todd. So Todd, you're one of your guitar players.
It almost looks like a Bloody Mary almost.
It does, yeah, it does.
Or pink grapefruit juice.
I'm tasting some chicken wing. Now I want chicken wings, dude.
But Todd,
Todd.
I'll just say Todd, he is a songwriting machine. He is amazing. I mean, if they're waiting for me to write all the songs on the last album, we'd probably still be working on it. But Todd probably kicked out 30 or 40 songs.
Yeah, he kicked out a lot.
When we need 10 or 12, you know? I mean, he's just incredible. And I mean, he teaches guitar. He's got his own little, it's like a school of rock there. I mean, he's been doing that for, I don't even know how many years, decades of it.
Yeah.
And I mean, he lives, drinks, eats, sleeps, smokes.
He's a machine.
Guitar. That's him.
He's a machine, man.
But Todd wrote a lot of the material. I mean, some of the songs were Todd and Ed. I think one of the songs was Todd and Ed.
Yeah.
Todd and Hal, and Todd and myself. So oddly enough, 2 of the songs that I contributed to aren't even on the album. So.
Oh, the vinyl part.
I guess
right?
they're on the CD.
Yeah, they're on the CD and the other. So we got a really cool comment here by Dan Hamilton, Doug. How about a collaboration between you two, talking about you and me? Well, Dan, we want to do something. We kind of started something, and we need to get back to that. So
that's a great idea.
That's the future.
Like it.
That's coming ahead. Bill mentioned new Metallica album. New Metallica sounds decent.
Great minds think alike.
I thought that James Hetfield's voice on the new Metallica album, I don't know if you've heard it yet or not, but
I've heard some bits and pieces of it. I haven't sit down and listened to the whole thing yet.
I don't know if it's the studio churching it up, but I thought his vocals sounded just phenomenal on the album. I need to listen to it some more. Metallica is hard for me because I love them. They're the reason I started playing. I've got Puppets poster up here, and I'm a big fan. But after, and I was a big fan of the Black album, still am. That's a lot of people got kind of lost on that one. But I love everything up through the Black album. After that, I sort of they kind of lost me a little bit, and I just haven't really been able to captivate me. But that, one thing I'll say about that, guys, is that's okay because they may be reaching another generation.
Right, they're growing.
Fun.
They're growing in a different way maybe than we are.
Yeah.
But at least they're still growing musically,
Yep. Yep. Juice says crazy old school metal album. I watched the interview you did a few months ago with the whole band. Yeah, I had Doug and Ed on here. I need to meet with Todd too. I'm going to get him at some point on my channel as well. Very nice cover from Denmark. Oh, awesome, man.
Maybe you can ask him about his solo stuff when you get him on.
Yeah, I would love to ask him about that.
I don't know when he's going to release that, but I think it's close to being finished. It sounded good, what I heard.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. I need to go check that out. Edward says, I love A Mercenary's Fate. Doug's voice is incredible and incredibly smooth.
Well, thank you, brother.
Awesome, man. Thank you.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Shadow says he down tunes on his Jackson. And yeah, you know, I think.
What are you tuned down to?
He's got it right
C,
here. Down tune
C sharp?
C G F. Is that C standard? Is that what
Drop
that is?
C.
Yeah. Down to C. I think it's C standard there. So
no, C G C F A. That's different.
No,
what is that?
But I think it's smart to tune to your voice, to what accommodates your voice. Again, not everybody has the same range, and they're not going to. But I think it's important. You know, I stay in standard tuning, but I play in different keys with some songs. So instead of down tuning, I don't necessarily have to have that chug, chug, chug all the time. Instead of down tuning, I'll just play some stuff in C sharp minor or whatever, F sharp minor. But I think down tuning is smart, especially to accommodate vocals if you need to.
I mean that's one thing, but I mean it's like I'll say I have a couple guitars, so why not play with different tunings? I mean, there's different tunings out there.
Yeah.
I don't see anything wrong with playing drop D or tune down to C, or a lot of people are tuned down to B. You know, get a 7-string and you got a B.
Yeah.
A lot of things in music I've learned recently are written around a 7-string. You know, the theory works around that. So I just learned out what the cage system meant the other day, and I realized that I've been using it for years, and I didn't even know what the cage system was. But
I'm not a big theory guy, and I'm not against you guys learning theory. You know, my partner, Metal Mastermind, he's got a good course on it.
Do what makes you happy. Have
right.
fun.
Right, have fun with it.
I mean, if it's helping you, great. If it's not helping you, then maybe it's not for you. I mean,
yeah, that's true.
There's no set way. I mean, Todd says when we write lyrics, a lot of time we'll just throw some nonsensical phrasing in there. Yeah. You know, it's something that fits. It has the feel of the song for the time and the place.
Yeah.
And then you go back to it later on, and then the song usually writes itself. That's what Todd says. The song writes itself.
I like that.
So, you know, I mean, you different things work for different people. You know, sometimes you write the music from the vocals. Sometimes you write the vocals from the music. Sometimes if you're lucky, they fall together at the same time. There's no... I mean, everybody has a different formula. I'm not sure what your formula is, but...
you just nailed it, though. You just said the formula is everybody has a different formula. And I'm so... And you guys hear me like a broken record, no pun intended, because we got records here and we're not going to break them, but like a broken record, I sound like, right? Because I encourage you guys to find out what works for you. I can show you what I do, but that might not work for you. But what I hope that it does...
But it might steer you in a direction that does
It gives you an idea, and you keep trying things, it does. Don't let anyone tell you that this is the way, because when it comes to music, well, that's completely wrong. You can pick up good things from certain people. You can pick up good things from theory if you're a theory person. You can pick up good things without theory if you don't, you know, I've never considered myself a book smart person, intellectual, you know, right? So theory was, you know, I sucked in school. It was hard for me to learn. So I just kind of look at theory as that, and I would hear something and I would play it. And that's how I write my music. I hear it in my head first, and like, okay, well, let me just translate that to guitar. And that's how I think about music. Someone else's way of writing music may be completely different than that, you know. There's no right or wrong way, though. I want to encourage you guys to understand that, you know, the best way is the way that's best for you. You know, it's what works for you, right?
And if it works, keep with it, and if it doesn't work, change it. Even if it works, it's not going to hurt you to change it up sometimes.
Hey, Dan says a friend of mine auditioned for Siren. Who auditioned for Siren, dude?
Who was that, Dan?
Yeah, who was that, Dan? Who was your friend? Now, Shadow says, soul breaker lead guitars, great vocals, almost sound like AC/DC. Cool, awesome.
That doesn't hurt my feelings.
Time Prophet sticks to standard. Time Prophet, I do not use a capo, man. I don't use, I never, my friend tried to get me to use a capo. I was like, hey, try this. And I just, what I do on acoustic guitar.
Maybe someday.
Maybe someday, yeah. What I like to do on acoustic guitar is I play a lot of songs, I'll transpose a lot of songs I do, because of my limited range, to another key, to usually an open key where I can play open chords like C sharp minor, F sharp minor, or A, and I can leave those last two strings open on the acoustic. So I don't really use a capo for that reason. I've just found another way to play it without a capo, and I just happen to like that better.
That's funny you should mention that, because my friend Al, buddy, what's going on? Separation equipment, shameless plug. Anyway, I got my friend Al a capo last week. I went to the music store and I bought him one, and because he used, I had mine in the pocket one day when I was at the office. I said, here, try. Oh no, I've never used that. I don't want to use that. It's like, just try it. And then it opened up a whole new world for him after that. So I got him his own. I hope you're enjoying it, my brother. I know you're on the road right now, but see you soon.
That's awesome.
Capo the night away.
Juice X, you make a good point. You know, Dave Mustaine, when he had throat cancer, they tuned their guitars down, but the band is still great. And that's just it. You know, you work with what you have and do the best of what you have. So Dan says, a friend of mine who's a drummer auditioned for Siren after No Place Like Home came out. What is No Place Like Home? That
came out in 86. 86 in the winter. I think it didn't hit the States till like early 87.
Wow,
so
dude.
I'm not sure what he auditioned as a guitar player.
Yeah, Dan, thank you for that piece of information, man.
That's probably right. Because during that period, we lost Rob Phillips, and I went through that process, like I was saying, where we had an ad out there and we auditioned hundreds of people.
Yeah.
Had the questionnaire of 100 questions, and still people would lie about their ability and everything else. But anyway, I hooked up with Brian Hendrickson after that, the guitar player that's on Financial Suicide. So
great album, by the way.
I'm not sure what your friend's name was, but like
I'd love to know.
A big auditioning process going on there. I think we lost Rob, the guitar player, and Brian, the drummer, left us then as well. So we were practicing, actually rehearsing and auditioning at the Riffs Theater in downtown Ybor City during that time period. And we had quite a, while we were auditioning, and we probably a 2-week period, we probably had 3 different drummers and guitar players in and out of there in that time. So
man, that's crazy, dude. That's crazy.
It's funny. Greg stuck with it.
Greg stuck with it, man. Yeah.
With me through that, but then
I have yet to meet Greg.
Ended up later on after that leaving the band for whatever reasons, his own reasons.
Yeah. Time Prophet said you wrote some song where the words came first, others where the chords came first. Hey, and that just goes to show you there's no right or wrong way. It's just what works at the time. John Wick says, I agree, it's all about having a good time and rocking through the riffs, and that's it, man. It's all, you have to love what you do. You have to love the process of it. So we got a few questions from Bill, and these are great questions, Doug. So first of all, where are you from, and what you're a native Brandon, Florida.
I wish I could see that. I wish my vision was
better.
Let
me move the laptop up a little bit so Doug can see.
But I was born here in Florida. I've lived in Brandon a lot of I was born at MacDill Air Force Base in Tampa.
Oh, in Tampa.
That's where I was born, but I've lived here off and on for most of my life. I mean, seen a lot of good bands come and go. A lot of them are still here. I heard that somebody was telling me Oblivion, and Oblivion just released an album. They're on our label, FHM Records.
That's right, dude, yeah.
And they got a really good video out called Sunflower. It's on YouTube. Anybody wants to check that out. It's kind of a mishmash of the different scenes and stuff. It's a really cool video. I like it anyway. But yeah, they're on our label now. But there's been a lot of good bands come and go out of here over time.
There's been a lot.
So, but yeah, I mean, I've lived here most of my life. I went to school here. A lot of the people that I've known in music were people I actually knew in high school. Yeah.
And what inspired you, Doug, when you like to get into music? That was a good question on here too. What was one of the things that inspired you, or some of the things?
My dad was in the Air Force. That's why I was born at MacDill Air Force Base. But when I was real young, when we moved to Alaska, I lived in Alaska. My parents bought me a drum set, or somebody's friends of my parents that thought that was a horrible, cruel joke brought me a set of drum sets for that was my first instrument. So as a tree, I was a drummer.
Yeah.
And I wasn't horrible. That's what I did. I beat the living crap out of those things. But it's odd because I got a picture of it. It says the Rainbow Band.
Nice.
That was a big song off our first album, Over the Rainbow. So I think it's kind of ironic and iconic that my first drum set as a child says Over the Rainbow on it. But as I went on through school, I played violin I think starting in the 3rd or 4th grade. I played violin up until the time I was in high school. Then I had some disagreements with the instruction, and then I turned to the dark side and started playing guitar. But back in the early 80s in Brandon, everybody was a guitar player. So just in the interest of progressing and getting something going, I put down the guitar. I traded in my Les Paul for the first PA that we had when I joined Siren, and it was pretty demanding. I was learning, 10 or 20 songs a week to get ready for the band. And I mean, a lot of the songs I wasn't real familiar with Iron Maiden or Accept or Michael Schenker. I mean, I listened to Priest and Sabbath and ZZ Top and Zeppelin. What people were listening to in the 70s and 80s. But I wasn't really into the heavier stuff until Siren kind of drew me into some heavier stuff.
So you started playing it, right?
I mean, I liked Priest, but I became a lot more familiar with Priest. Like I said, there was 17 Priest songs in our set list at one time.
Wow.
We did all the good ones. We did Delivering the Goods. We did Beyond the Realms of Death.
Yeah.
We did Electric Eye. We did
Electric Eye's good, dude. Yeah.
We did Got Another Thing Coming, because in the era that I got in Siren was in the era of what album is that? With Electric Eye and You Got Another Thing Coming. It was
I can't remember
the album before Screaming for Vengeance.
Screaming for Vengeance, yeah.
Sorry,
classic
brain fart, but yeah, I really became familiar with Priest, and then from there I went back. I mean, I listened to everything from Victim of Changes all the way up to, even up to even when Ripper Owens was in the band, some great albums, Ripper, but and I like the Rob Halford solo stuff too. I mean,
I love his solo stuff, dude.
It's amazing how much music spins out of band relationships like that.
It is,
People go in and out and come back, and as long as it's producing great music, who cares?
So we got to address this question here by Edward. Why doesn't Tampa have a great music scene like Nashville, Austin, Seattle, or any of the other dozen places where they have talent?
Well, because there's people, they're not people like out there like Doug Lee pushing it like Doug Lee did in the 80s. I mean,
we just need more people pushing it, man.
Your scene is what you make it, and here in the early 80s there was no metal scene. We had to learn Def Leppard and AC/DC to get a job playing anywhere.
You guys created it. I mean, it was created, it was birthed out of that.
We spun out of that, It's like, well, we don't want to play AC/DC and Def Leppard. We want to play Accept and Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people thought some of the Accept songs we played were originals back in the day, because I don't think anybody knew who Accept was.
Right.
It was odd to find people that knew who Judas Priest was back then.
I finished my chicken wing beer. It's pretty good.
What was like the V8 of beers? It's like a cocktail of weird
I feel like
flavors.
I got vitamins in me now from beer vitamins.
I don't know if I'd get another one of those.
No, I probably shy away from that. They do have a good IPA.
Spit in my eye.
See, getting your eye. It's probably got hot sauce in it.
And it almost there's some kind of weird fruit. I get like the taste of almost like a bell pepper.
There's a pepper and some grapefruit, really strong in that.
And that's nothing what it says. It says coffee and raspberry. I don't taste any of that.
Time Prophet says, have you guys played in the Long Beach area? I don't remember if you guys played. You guys were kind of more local Florida.
Never played that far out.
No.
But I'd love to.
Yeah.
And I take it Long Beach, California. I'm just guessing.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think there's a Long Beach. There might be another Long Beach, but I'd love to play in California. I love to play anywhere. I just love to play.
Yeah.
I love to come listen to you play.
Yeah, and I do nothing but acoustic covers these days, but I want to do something with my original stuff. You know,
sometimes we hack out a couple songs together.
Yeah, you know, it's tough. I mean, the live band thing. There's not a lot of money in it if you're just starting out, so that's a big part of it. And you know, a lot of us have to focus on what's going to pay the bills, and then whatever time left over you have after that, right? And I'm a full-time musician, but I do want to. You know, we talked about a project together, Doug, and I do want to get out there and play live and play metal. I want to play heavy metal live.
I do too. I know that's your love.
It is. I'm dying to do it. So.
Before season, play anything for the 70s, do you? It's all 80s.
No, I covers and I am so grateful. I'm very grateful for it, but.
There's not a lot of people doing that, so you got your own niche.
I've got my own
you're
little
good
niche
at
there,
it,
yeah.
and people like 80s. So I don't know what everybody else likes.
I am, and that's why if I'm going to play acoustic covers, I'm just going to play, and of course it's not all metal. It's like Don Henley, the Cutting Crew, you know, there's that sort of thing.
Else matters,
which I love. Yeah, some Metallica from time to time. But let's see. Io walks are all on him because they want to hold hands because he's the lead singer. Yeah, I guess that happens, right?
Where are they? Are you talking about me?
I think he's talking about himself. I'm not really sure.
Oh, I hope so, because I want to know where they are. If they're hanging on the lead singer.
We got to give them Doug's number here. Prophet's a big fan of Accept. Elo and Moody Blues, also Birmingham. So T-Cross says, it's here in Ohio. If you don't play covers, you ain't playing Accept in Columbia. Yeah, so T-Cross, you make a good point. You ain't
playing Accept here either, dude.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's the thing. That's the kind of
lucky to squeeze that out in the 80s.
That's kind of the thing here now. It's like if you're playing live music. Well, here's how I explain it.
You got to play to what the crowd is. You know, if you're playing covers. I mean, that's
you got to play with
to it.
When people go to a venue like a bar, a restaurant, a winery, or brewery, like all these places I play. They are not really coming to see you in concert at all. They're going there to have a good time, and when you're playing cover songs, you're really just background music. But the cool thing about that is there is a demand for that background music, so you get paid to do that. Whereas if you're going to play your own music as a metal band or any band, doesn't matter. If you're going to play music that's unfamiliar to people that they don't know, well, you need to bring your own crowd.
You got to bring your audience, yeah. You got to find them.
That's the challenge.
Locate them, seek them out, and make sure they come.
Yeah.
If you don't bring them in there, they're probably not going to want to have you back if nobody comes.
Right, and that's the thing, you know.
No matter how good your originals are, you know.
Yeah, and if you're going to play at some kind of like big event or something like that, well, that costs money. So who's going to pay for that? So all these things have to be taken. Now, we do have some places around here. There are several little bars coming up that are allowing metal acts to come play, and I think could be something sparking from that, you know. But I'm not saying it's impossible, and I'm not saying don't try it. I'm saying you should try it. Hey, get out there. The scene, like you said earlier, is what you make it. If you want to make that in your area bad enough, then hey, get out there and do it.
There's some venues around here. There's the Orpheum.
You got the Brass Mug. Yeah.
There's Janus Live. If you want to see metal, the Brass Mug. There's a lot of.
Yeah.
A lot of, you know, worldwide metal comes to the Brass Mug.
Yeah.
Could be anything from a death tribute band to Saxon to Voivod, whoever. It's just there's a lot of metal there.
Juicex said you have a tour planned for the summer in Canada, and I don't think you guys.
I wish
I'd love to see Siren get out there and do it. Time Prophet says after playing solo gigs. How would you adjust playing in a band? Well, it would be my own thing, man. So it would be something I'm writing, or Doug and I are writing together, right? If you know we decide to launch something, so I would love it. Honestly, there would be no adjustment for me because I love playing live. Doug loves playing live, so I don't.
I'm watching, waiting.
Yeah. There's not really an adjustment for me, man. I just wondering. You know, I know we've. Hey, you know what? If there's enough interest. Wish all you guys would just move to Florida.
Come on down.
Now my wife's gonna say, no, don't tell them to move here. We got too many people moving here already. But you know, if all you guys moved here, we would have a crowd to come see us.
When they realize what the taxes and flood insurance and hurricane insurance is like, they might change their mind.
Oh man.
It's not cheap like it used to be to live in Florida. There's a lot of complications now. They'll probably run us out of here eventually.
Yeah. And time, Prof, to answer your question, I think to the question to Doug here. By the way, guys,
did I miss some questions?
If you
Did we answer all those?
Well, I want to let everybody. Let me do this real quick. I'm going to find Doug Lee's channel. Doug Lee has his own YouTube channel, and we just made a video for that. We're going to publish it tomorrow, or Doug's going to publish tomorrow. So I want you guys to. I'm going to send you the link real quick.
And I'm going to quit being a lonesome loser, and I'm gonna start putting some content on there all the time. You know, I got people coming there looking for content that's not there, so I feel bad about that. So I am going to do something to change that.
Yeah. Yeah, we are going to do that.
Not that anybody cares what I'm doing or what I'm playing, but I'm going to put it out there anyway.
He's going to put it out there. No, they care. I think a lot of people want to see you, dude. So, guys, I am going to put this in the comments here. Doug's channel, and he's got a good vocal video.
I want to thank everybody that showed up, and I want to thank Jason. We just spontaneously decided to go live here. After
we just did it, man.
Some awesome taco soup and some festivities. We decided to just go live and make some videos tonight. So I'm stoked.
Bill says Doug sounds like Vinny from, I think he meant to say Pantera. Please bring him back. Doug will definitely be back on. Juice X says try Montreal and come back.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
I'd love to come back.
Time Prophet Mech, the dude from Saxon, Biff from Saxon. Man, that's cool. Dan came back. The guy that tried out for Siren is Kenny Lang, I guess. Kenny, I think LSNG. His first name is Kenny.
I'm not. That doesn't ring a bell. But I'm going to do some research into that now. Now that I know Kenny.
Yeah, we'll have to find out about that. So that's great.
You know, honestly, to tell you the truth, I wanted to give away the spoiler alert, but one of the segments I want to do on my YouTube channel is going to be people that were in Siren in the past for short time, long time, because there's been a lot of them. I mean, a lot of them are doing some really cool stuff now, as a matter of fact. You know, I want to do a segment on people that were in Siren and where they are and what they're doing now. I think that'd be interesting. You know, not every segment, you know, but throw one of those in here and there in between my other things.
Kenny Lange. Oh, I need to pour you some more here, dude. Sorry.
That's all right.
This is a thick
poured the
beer.
last one heavy on yours, too. No, I'm
did it? All right.
Good. That's why I brought them.
Real quick while you're reading that, this is Omi Gang Brewing Everything Niche. That's what we're drinking now, guys. Metal and beer. That's what it's all about tonight. Appreciate you guys being on.
There's a guy on from Canada, right? I'm thinking about going to see Voivod next week. What do you guys think of Voivod? His name is Kenny.
Voivod, I'm not sure, dude.
That's a Canadian band, I'm pretty sure. They're a metal band. That's more from my era.
Yeah.
That's before your time. I mean, there's probably... What about... Have you heard of Holocaust?
No.
Never heard of Holocaust?
I haven't heard that.
Yeah, there's a whole... I know you've heard of Venom and...
Venom, yes.
Demon.
Well, I think Venom was like said to be the original death metal band, or black metal band, I'm sorry. Venom was like the original black metal band.
Quintessential, what I don't know, what do you call that? The quintessential...
And I saw...
quintessential...
Who's Skeleton... Is it man, what is it? Not Skeleton Witch, that's another metal band, but something. And I saw Dave from
Axe Witch?
Yeah, no, something else.
White Witch?
Witch is in there.
Witch?
Angel Witch, yeah. I saw David from wearing that shirt from Nasty Savage. Who he's got another project.
That's
going
oddly
on
enough when we were playing, when they made us play Def Leppard and AC/DC, we were playing an Angel Witch song back in the clubs. Man. It was called Gorgon.
Gorgon.
One of my favorites. And of course, there's always "You're an Angel Witch, You're an Angel Witch." I think that's off their first album.
Ooh.
We used to say, "You're a strange old bitch. You're a strange old bitch." But that was I love those guys.
This tastes like Christmas, dude.
Angel Witch, Axe Witch, White Witch, anything with a witch and metal is probably not bad.
There's another band called Skeleton Witch, which there's one album.
I'm not familiar with their stuff.
They're a death metal band. They're pretty cool.
I like their name.
I like them a lot, man. So that's cool. We'll research Kenny, though. Thank you for that.
You can't go wrong with the witch.
Thank you for that. Oh,
I'm going to have to try to narrow down. And he was a guitar player. That's correct.
Bill listened to Back from the Dead just now. Thank you.
Thanks, Bill.
Awesome. Time Prophet just subscribed to your channel. Thank you, Time Prophet, for subscribing to Doug's channel. Guys, I left that. I'll throw the link in here again to Doug's channel. That's it right there. So, hey, drop over because he's going to be doing some more videos.
You rock, Time Prophet.
Yeah.
I'll be seeing some more.
Juice6 says Vivoid is Canadian. Saw them decades ago. Pretty heavy. Edward says a good beer.
They're going to be in town.
Surach beer from Bamberg, Germany. Ed, I'm going to make it to Germany someday, dude. This is...
Which one? Is that what he's drinking?
He's drinking something else. We've got this thing called Omegang. I guess I don't know if it's a German beer or not.
No, it's
New York. It's called Everything Niche Lemon.
Omegang.
This is a Christmas beer.
I'm thinking so. Is it good?
It's okay.
It's different?
It's different, and we'll say it's different, yeah. It's Christmassy.
It's very wow. It's not the typical Christmas beer.
No, it's not. No, it's
got a little bit interesting back taste to it.
You can taste some pine needles in there, man. Cheers, dude.
So
cheers.
It's not all bad.
Black Venom.
Some other kind of a fruit that's kind of on the back bite of it too.
Transparent, you're right. Yeah, Merciful Fate was kind of another, getting into that black metal style. I like the bands like that, Merciful Fate, and then there's another band similar, not really in sound, but name, Fate's Warning. They were cool. And this is kind of like the Queensryche era,
We have been compared to Fate's Warning before.
You have,
We've been compared to Fate's Warning, Ozzy, Watchtower, Killing Joke.
Yep.
We've been, compared to a lot of bands. I mean, but like I said, your ear tries to tune into something compare to something you're familiar with. I mean, that's just human nature, that your ear does that. So
it is, yeah.
You're
trying
what
to.
You say everything sounds like something,
Yeah, but I mean, and I think everybody that's listening to your music can vouch for this. You have your own unique style. We're trying to compare it to something. It's like, well, what genre is it, right? But Doug Lee sounds like Doug Lee, and I think when you hear other bands, you may be saying, well, that band might sort of sound like Doug Lee's voice, instead of saying Doug Lee sounds like something, because you have your own distinct
I have been around for a minute.
He's been around for a minute or two, yeah. So,
I've heard some people say that I sound like John Oliva from Sabotage.
Oh.
But
you got Siren open for Sabotage.
Maybe John Oliva from Sabotage sounds like me.
There we go. Because you guys opened for them in Ybor City.
We did.
I've got a picture of it. It's in one of my videos. I did it as B-roll. So that was a cool clip.
A long time ago.
A long time ago.
That was a great show. That was a standing room only show.
Shadow's asking about the Killer Dwarfs. I've heard of the Killer Dwarfs. I guess Shadow Down My Wolf is in Canada here, I guess. But I've heard of the Killer Dwarfs. I don't recall what they sound like. I had to go back and listen to them.
I was like, I'm familiar too, but it's been so long. It's been a long time since I've heard any Killer Dwarfs. I can't recall
70s, 80s.
The sound.
Time Prophet loves Sabotage. Hall of the Mountain King. Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah, it's good stuff, man.
I love Sabotage too. I love those guys the first time I met them when they were still called Avatar.
Oh,
when they released this City Beneath the Surface single. I met them in an agent's office in St. Petersburg. The guy's name was Dana. He talked like a froggy. Dana. That was their agent.
Yeah.
And we exchanged albums. They gave me their City Beneath the Surface, Avatar single, and I gave them the Siren Metro Mercenary single.
Speaking of albums, is there any vinyl down there that we haven't looked at yet? We saw the Siren album.
I even threw the Living Death out for a minute.
Oh yeah, you guys didn't. Some of you did not see the Mekong Delta. So Doug, in between Siren, because he was with Siren, and now he's with Siren, and now because they're going strong. But in between all that, he was with a band. You sang for Mekong Delta for a number of years. Let's throw this up here.
In the '90s, I sang in a band called Mekong Delta.
Yeah.
This is actually the final Mekong Delta album that I appeared on.
Yeah.
When they told me, and they were gonna play all instrumental. So on this album, there's only 4 vocal songs. And oddly enough, on the original release, it was different. They were mixed in.
Yeah.
There were like 2 vocal songs, then the suite for orchestra, then the last 2 vocal songs. But on this album, they've got the vocal songs all on one side. So I mean, that makes it interesting. But this is the final album I did. I did 5 albums in Mekong Delta. This is the last. The first album I did with Mekong Delta was called Dances of Death and Other Walking Shadows, which was, first time I ever heard that song, it was 24, 25 minutes long, maybe 23 minutes long. And I was like,
a long song,
how do you guys remember all the changes and all the parts?
Yeah, because they're progressive, man. I mean, so there's a question here by Bill, and this is a great question. All your questions are great, guys. Thank you. But Bill's asking, Doug, how is it dealing with a label? Because you guys have a little bit different type of label here.
Yeah, well, our label isn't a traditional label.
Right, right.
You know, I mean, our label, Frank is great.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Frank
Frank Hebbinger.
He was a huge Siren fan. He used to have a different. He was like a corporate executive, like Jason was.
Yeah.
But he worked for some German company. I mean, he had all the good stuff, and then he just decided that he didn't want to do that anymore, and he wanted to pursue his dream, which was to have a heavy metal record label.
FHM Records.
And if it was up to Frank, he would have every Brandon metal band that ever existed on his label. He loves Brandon metal. But I mean, there's a lot of other bands on his label besides that.
Yeah.
And Oblivion is now on his label.
Hey.
They just released. I feel bad because I can't think of the name of it.
It's out there. I saw the release though.
It's a good quality. You know, it's kind of like it reminds me if somebody said, "Hey, we're gonna go," and it's 1983.
Yeah.
We're going to a party and there's a metal band playing. And when I put on that Oblivion CD, it was like, it takes me back to that period. I mean, it doesn't sound probably nearly as bad as what, a live metal band would have sounded like here back in the day. Not because the bands were bad, but just because the sound reproduction was horrible.
Yeah.
But I mean, it has that same 80s metal feel, which to me, I mean, that's like, apple pie, hot dogs, and Chevrolet. You sit down and then just feel that old 80s metal. I mean, it's a great recording. There's great songs on there. And the video, Sunflower, it's on YouTube. Yeah. Great video. I recommend it. I recommend the album. Look for it. Before we go off the air, I'll look it up and try to figure out what the name of it was. I mean, I have a copy of my house.
If you look up Oblivion, it's the latest. But you guys have a good thing with Frank Hebbinger because I don't think he.
Yeah, I got off topic there a bit.
No, it's okay. I mean, I've met Frank Hebbinger. I got a picture of him and I on Instagram. We had a really good chat last time he was down. He's in Germany, and they kind of handle your CD distribution in Europe. And he gets a lot of publicity for the band as well. So
Frank's thing, he's really big on putting all the extras in it.
Yeah.
In the last album, we did the re-release we re-released Financial Suicide after 30 odd years. But inside the release, as well as the album, were 2 songs on a 7-inch.
Yeah.
33 and a third speeds, same speed as the album, but a 7-inch, 2 songs that weren't on the album, bonus tracks, and then there was a bonus CD of a live show, one of the few live shows we played in that era in Siren in Germany, which is like 10 or 12, maybe, I don't know how many songs are on there, a lot. It's almost the whole show, less a couple songs, and a sticker, all the lyrics and everything. Frank's big thing is to give the people as much as he possibly can, and if it's a re-release, something that's been released, something new and different to make it so you would want it, I mean, if it's exactly, the re-release is exactly the same as the release, then, what's the, maybe it'll, and not only that, I can't remember the gentleman's name, but everything was remixed and mixed a lot hotter than the original. So not only all the extras are in there, the sound is way better and it's a way hotter mix. And I don't have that album here, so I can't. I don't want to say that guy's name is. Oh, I feel so bad. I can't think of his name, but he's an engineer. He works live for a lot of German bands.
That's cool.
He's really, really good.
That's awesome, man.
It's right on the tip of my tongue too.
But as far as labels go, you guys have a good deal with Frank. I mean, it's not like they're, you guys are still able to do what you want to do, and he's not, quote unquote, stealing from you like a lot of labels do. Everything is transparent. So this is
everything is transparent. He treats us really well. I mean, I can't go into the details of our contract, but
sure.
You will never get a contract like that with a record label.
But just look up FHM. F as in Frank, as Frank Headbanger. H for Headbanger. FHM.
He's got a lot of good bands. There's a band on his label called Pyroconda. Hey, my brother, German Brothers, that's a great band. Pyroconda. There's Atomic Opera.
That's right.
Some ex-Siren guys. They just released an album, which came out on orange vinyl, which is pretty
wow, dude, fun.
Pretty cool. I didn't get one of those copies, but yeah, the Atomic Opera, which was and there's a song on there about Brandon Metal, dedicated to Brandon Metal and the era that we came out in. And there's a shameless plug in there for almost every local Brandon band that was in the scene at that time.
Oh man!
In that song, it's called "Hammer Down" in Brandon Town. Great song, Todd.
That's awesome, man.
You guys killed it on that one, but.
So
Frank is not your traditional label guy.
No, not at all, man.
I mean, he's a great friend. Dude. He's a huge Siren fan. He's a great guy. We love you, Frank.
Love some Frank.
You too, Holger. And yeah, man, those guys are awesome.
Got a few more questions before we wrap things up, guys. One question is:
I can't believe we're live.
Yeah, we are live. Has Doug always sang metal, or did you start out with different music? Like Dio started out with blues or whatever. You pretty much always sang metal, haven't you? Since you
when I was a kid, I sang like pop music.
Oh,
I was a big
Cyndi Lauper. But no,
in my era there was no Cyndi Lauper. It was more like the Beatles and
oh, gotcha.
Other bands that I won't mention, but bands that were popular in the 60s and 70s. That's what I cut my teeth on. Before I started honing up with some Zeppelin and I was a big Rush fan back in the early 70s. Rush and Zeppelin, and that's some of my main influences. But I like the one guy was saying he did folk music. I like folk music too.
Time Prophet, yeah.
I do. I play a lot of, in my one-man act, I play a lot of 60s and 70s folk music. I love it. I mean, I cut my teeth on that stuff. America and the Doors and what's that other band? It's like America, Bread. I hate to say it, but I love that stuff.
Well, Time Prophet's his mom got to meet all the Beatles, and I hate to hear your mom's gone now, Time Prophet, but
I do too. But that's
so
something amazing she got to do in her life.
Man. So what I didn't realize is Dan here, Hamilton. Dan, you must be from the Brandon area, Riverview area, and apologize if we missed that earlier, but. You said there are a few metal cover bands that play in the area. Just a lack of venues for that. The Bottle House and Riverview showcases. So speaking of that, Dan, there's a band I saw at Hard Rock. I went to the Tesla concert a while back, a few months ago, but
I've been to the Bottle House. I don't know if you have.
No, I haven't been there, but there's a local band in our area called the Headbang. They're called the Headbang.
Is that like a metal cover band?
They're a metal cover band. They play a lot of the '80s hair bands like Rat, Dokken, Bon Jovi, Poison, Warrant, Winger, all that good stuff. They're called the Headbang, and I was extremely impressed by them. So we went to the Hard Rock Cafe. Guys, the casino here in Tampa. And my buddy of mine ate because he took me to the concert, and he's a good friend and a fan too. So he's like, hey, let's go to this show to see Tesla. So we stopped out at the Hard Rock Cafe first, saw that this band was playing. I'm like, well, I hope they're still playing after Tesla. They were. So after seeing Tesla, we came back and they were playing. They were amazing. They're called the Headbang. So
that's awesome.
Dan, you may have heard of the Headbang, but I'm trying to catch them live. But every time they're playing, I'm playing. So
we'll have to get together and have a beer with Dan sometime.
We will, Dan. Yeah, we got to connect, man. Let's have some brews.
Do we know you, Dan?
Dan Hamilton. Well, hopefully we know him soon.
We'll know you soon.
Yeah, guys.
Man, I was gonna say something.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Never mind.
Well, we'll go live again.
Maybe it'll come to me.
I think we would probably wrap things up. We've been on for about an hour and a half now. So
no way. Doesn't seem like it.
I know. Just hanging out with you guys.
Thanks for everybody that hung out, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for all the questions. You guys are amazing.
One more.
We'll do it again sometime and maybe not talk your ear off. We'll be more focused next time.
Oh, we're pretty focused, I
free.
think, man. You know, last call for Doug's channel there. I just put the link out there for Doug's channel. So go to his channel, guys, please, and subscribe to Doug's channel because you've got some good stuff coming up.
I'm going to be interviewing this man on my channel.
That's right. That's right. We just actually recorded something for your channel tonight.
Might even ask him about music.
So. Shadow says, play something. Will you hand me my Ibanez off the guitar, or off the rack there, Doug? Hold on, guys. Let's see here.
Oh, this is a beautiful guitar.
This is it. All right, let's see if we can play something for you guys. I'm not in my normal chair. I'll let Doug have the comfortable chair there. I need to get
thank you so much for that. I am a little bit older, so I appreciate
you're not really older, dude. You're just, I don't know.
I mean, we don't have time to hook up for a jam, but
yeah. I
just acquired this fluorescent green obnoxious bass, and I really like it. I'm not even a bass player, but it's.
Yep.
We both enjoyed it. It's got good action.
You guys may or may not be able to hear that really well, but let's see here. Kirk Enterprise. Kirk Enterprise. All right, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. Appreciate you guys.
You were holding that back the whole time.
Yeah, a little bit, you know. So
maybe we should have let in with that.
We should have let in. We'll lead in with that next time. More stuff coming from us. Check out Siren's album, Siren, A Mercenary's Fate. That's Doug's latest album. Yeah, let's hold that up one more time, dude. Such a cool album.
Thanks so much to everybody that hung out. We appreciate it. Love the questions. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you guys had awesome questions.
Thanks for your support. We love you guys.
Guys,
you guys are awesome.
We will see you next time. Go to Doug Lee's channel, subscribe to that. And guys, thank you so much again. Keep it metal.
We'll see you soon.